Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. Yes, indeed, it is black as darkness outside. I couldn't think of an appropriate analogy. When Johnny pressed the button, the nanotech of his home should have folded his abode into a block of material not much larger than a suitcase. The thwomp from inside of the structure, followed by a billowing of greasy smoke from every window, let him know something had gone wrong, and in only moments, everything he owned had burned itself into molecular ash. Simile? Metaphor? Whatever the term is, it's dark outside. It's gonna keep getting darker. I mean, not now. It's gonna keep getting lighter. Now, it's morning. But until, what is it, January 22nd, December something or other, it's going to get darker and darker and darker. It's like the 22nd or so, we hit the darkest night of the year. Probably Christmas is like, that's right around that time. That's why we have Christmas at that time. Because of the winter solstice. Anyway, though, so yeah, then it's going to start getting lighter. So thumbs up for that. But for right now, it gets dark real early, and then it stays dark for a long time. So thumbs up for that. Welcome to the changing of seasons. Welcome to planet Earth. Me. Thumbs up for that. Excuse me. I have, of course, once again, not changed that, but I thought this was a good enough sentence that I'd already planted myself in my chair and got myself centered and had everything in place, and then went, oh, shucks darn. So, one more day, but it is a good sentiment. That's the word I was looking for. Definitely a thumbs up. Last night, I went partial walkies, not full walkies. Didn't go to Walmart, but I walked around downtown, and oh boy, is it getting cold. I put on the same amount of shirts that I had gone on the night before. Now, when I had gone the night before, I'd had to keep my outer plaid shirt unbuttoned, and then I had to roll up the sleeves to keep my forearms uncovered. This time, it was chilly enough, I had to keep my outer shirt buttoned up and my sleeves stayed down the entire time. It was cold. Hokey smokes. So, yeah, I went walkies downtown, did that sort of thing, and, walked here, walked there, and then just walked back. So, I kind of wish I'd gone the full walkies, kind of wish I hadn't. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Because I went to bed early because my body and my back and my legs were hurting. I was at pre-anxiety with the feeling in my legs. And that's been happening as well around 11:30, where my legs and my back aren't at that anxiety state yet. They're like, here's the line to get it there. And they're like, oh, and it's not a nice feeling, but not so bad I have to do something about it. But it's bad enough I can't just sit comfortably unless I'm really wrapped up in something, unless I'm really invested in what I'm doing. It's super unpleasant. Thumbs up. But that even happens on nights when I go walkies, so... Thumbs up. Last night was joyous too, sleeping hokey smokes. I went to bed. I was in bed, quarter till whatever. I had to take care of my hamsters and do some stuff before I go to bed every night. It's just your pre-bedtime ritual. And part of my pre-bedtime rituals, that's when I feed the hamsters. That's when I do a bunch of little things like that. So I did that. Went to bed. Previous night, I had slept on my right side for like 5 hours. Slept great. It was awesome. Last night, rolled over onto my right side in the hopes that I would sleep well again. 3 hours later, 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, my right shoulder is killing me. Oh my God, my shoulder hurts so much. So I gotta roll over onto my left side. I never slept well again after that. So I'm pretty tired. I didn't stay. If this is, your rapid eye movement sleep and this is wakefulness, I wasn't like right here. But I never made it down here again. I was like, I would dip into this area, halfway there, and then come back up. So it wasn't very satisfying what little sleep I got. So yay. I don't know why all of a sudden my shoulder hurt, but it did. So obviously I positioned myself in a bad way. I have mentioned before, that when I go to sleep, I don't move. And I don't. It's like I'm dead. I just don't move unless I wake up to wakefulness and then change position and then go back down again. If I put my face and my hands in one position, when I wake up X number of hours later, they're still there and sore because I haven't moved. Fun. Probably has something to do with that part. Good Lord, I'm so sorry. With that part of my brain that has the sleep apnea. Because I mentioned before, there's two types. There's probably more types. But there's the two types of sleep apnea that I know about. There is obstructive and there is central. Obstructive apnea is when the soft tissues of your throat collapse when you're sleeping and block your breathing. The heavier you get, the greater the chance you're going to have obstructive sleep apnea. If you lose weight, then that can clear up because the soft tissues aren't collapsing because of all the extra tissue. I have central apnea, which is where literally your brain just stops telling your lungs to breathe. So they don't. There's no blockage, there's nothing. It's just you breathe out and then you don't breathe back in. Your body starts to suffer and starts trying to breathe, but your brain is, suffering too until it finally goes, breathe. And you start breathing again. Why? How? I have no ideas. Thumbs up. But I know I had sleep apnea just from the way things were looking back into my past, because I always sweated a lot. From 1989. I was sweating hard when I went to bed. And I found out afterward it's not sweating because of heat, it's sweating because you can't breathe. And when you have sleep apnea and you stop breathing, you sweat. So I had a good 10 years of sleep apnea. So how much damage did I do to my system? I don't know. Don't know. So hopefully I'm going to get the call from the cardiac people here soon, have an appointment, see if I need a cardiac stress test, find out, because good golly Miss Molly, I don't want to die of heart issues. I mean, not yet. Anyway, we're all going to die of something at some time. So yay. I just want to die of something non-horrifically painful. And I'm still torn between wishing to die in my sleep and wishing to die while conscious. Because on the one hand, just dying in your sleep is, sure, it's painless. I mean, you're just gone, but every night, I mean, the older I get, the more used to the feeling I'm going to have to get of the real possibility that going to bed tonight means I am so sorry, this is so freaking irritating to me, means I'm never going to wake up again. A lot of people die in their sleep. I mean, once again, nice way to go, but that's scary in its own way. But on the other hand, while I would like to be conscious and aware and not terrified so that I can understand what is happening, then death while conscious isn't that bad, as long as it's not painful And as long as the terror can be kept to a minimum, I'm not so sure either of those are something that's really manageable. On the other hand, I did watch this one guy die in a video. You know, I don't like watching people die. I've watched enough people die IRL when I was working as a nurse's aide. I've cleaned up over 200 corpses. You know, death is something I've walked in, I've bathed in, so it's not something I really enjoy seeing in videos. But this guy, even though he was a Nazi, a literal Nazi, it was some Eastern, or not Eastern, but some European fellow, and he was in his like Nazi uniform, and he had stepped up to the microphone to make his speech, and he just sort of got up there, got ready, and then staggered backward a bit, sort of looked sort of, oh, and then thump, he was down. Because you have to maintain your blood pressure very, very high, relatively high, to keep your brain going. And if it drops too low, your consciousness goes whoop as well. So at least if you're not going to linger, I don't even know if he had a chance to register, good golly, Miss Molly, what the hell is happening to me? And then unconscious, gone. So, that's both scary and reassuring. Scary because, of course, that just means you can go at any time. But reassuring because I bet he didn't have time to feel much pain. I mean, as a Nazi, maybe he should have. But there is no such thing as justice in this world, so life is life. Good golly, Miss Molly, there was another thing that was really depressing and death-related that had popped into my head while I was thinking about that, and I wanted to talk about it because it's depressing and awful, but I can't remember what it was, so just real quick. I've talked about this before, and I know it's rarefied, but I keep coming back to it. I've talked before about how one story idea I've had is people managed to make a dimensional doorway into a place called graveyard. We call it graveyard. But it is the place where literally your dreams have gone to die. It is nothing but an endless plain of a dark sky, a low sun behind clouds, very dim and red, and just cenotaphs, tombs, mausoleums, and gravestones everywhere. And when you go into one of them, you find it is a tomb to one of your dreams that died. And this is where it's like mildly existential, horrific, that, you know, not everyone's going to get into. And I understand that, but it's the sort of thing that when you find it, it might be just, you go into this thing and you find a broken bicycle raised up on a stone dais in a tomb. On the one hand, you realize that's just the bike that you wanted when you were a kid, but on the other hand, you feel right then, right there, what you felt as a kid to want that, and then never get it. And there's the death of your dream. And every place you go to, every one of your dreams, you wanted to have a nice relationship and happiness with a wife or husband or some form of significant other, and instead you're alone and will never have anybody, and you find the tomb of that. It's all these dreams that you had from the current time to before you could remember. This is the mausoleum, the graveyard, where they've all been buried. And it's very, like I say, it's rarefied. It's not horrific in, you know, the horrific way, like, you know, blood and violence and death of the body and all that. No, this is just, it's death of dreams and being faced with it. And would you go there? Would you go to graveyard? And if we did have that, what would we ever do with that? What would you do with the knowledge that that's there? What would you do with that as a business, as a corporation, as a government, as a world, as a people? What would you do knowing that there is a place where you could visit the graves of every one of your dreams that died? Would there be people that would give up their future just to continue mourning the past? I don't know. And hey, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people, if that many people left comments. I lost my track of flow on that, but I'm going to go through and thank people for having left a comment. It's a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count American Sign Language, I get lost with my fibro. You just saw that happen. Excuse me. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And I have forgotten the other one. So my brain is doing well this morning. Thumbs up for that. Let me call it my Chrome, I hope. Here we are. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got air from my tummy. It just keeps pushing it up through my throat while I'm talking. I didn't even realize there was air down there. My sincere apologies. Kang Daniel's cute and precious bunny teeth. Definitely a thumbs up. I like your name. Thank you. Daniel Rupp, greatly appreciated. Dazzling Nebula, greatly appreciated. Glitched X3D, thumbs up. And then we have Amando Guerrera, thumbs up and thank you. Bailey Snyder, greatly appreciated. Elric, I like the name though. Thumbs up and thank you. Alex Alger, greatly appreciated. And Death Kills Dead, occasionally, yeah. Thank you very, very much. CMJ, greatly appreciated. Sebastian Ferris, thumbs up and thank you. Stefan Blanchard, thumbs up. Darkness Falls, greatly appreciated. Leonardo Lizarazo, I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. The Green Dingus. That's a heck of a name. Wolfgang Engel, greatly appreciate. Colin Reisenauer, thumbs up and thank you. Imod AJ, thumbs up. Russian Timing, greatly appreciated. Antonio Gavira, I sure hope I'm close. And then we have Mr. R4DKE, Radke, maybe? Is that 21? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do that one. And then Quizzy, thank you very, very much. And then we have Josie Vertanen, thank you very, very much. Tatiana B, thank you, greatly appreciated. And Antonio Labas, thumbs up and thank you, each and every one of you. I sure hope I counted halfway correctly. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated. Definitely. No chance to talk to my therapist this week. Thanksgiving in the United States, so it's going to be another week before I can talk to my therapist, so thumbs up. Until that time, talking with people, even in text, just being able to talk stuff out is important. Thank you all so very, very much. And if you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you wanted to donate but didn't want to donate to either one of those two, I have a PayPal link down below. If you wanted to contribute, that would be very awesome. And if you wanted to help out but didn't want to send money, I have an Amazon wish list. If you could check that out, it would be very cool. It's got things like cat food, hamster food, silly things, non-silly things. If you could check that out, that would be very awesome. Now, don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit that bell, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Which I admit is a long time, and it's much more likely that we're all gonna die in I'm probably gonna kick off within the next 20 years. Hopefully 30, but I'm pushing 60 now. Anyway, though, I've got this video, in case you didn't notice that that's what you were watching. I have a different video that I have to edit and render, another one that I have to record, edit, and render. So a lot of things to get done. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend. And that, try to find the close button on my webcam software, is a very good thing.